We are live, and welcome back to Beyond the Spread. Ignore my dog laying right over here. She's just chilling. And then a pile of laundry right behind me as well. For those of you watching or listening right now, apologies about last week's episode if you were trying to watch it on YouTube. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Just no audio on my recording, on my video. You didn't want to listen to that one anyway. I have done terribly with my bets this week. I'm recording on Monday. This is going to come out Wednesday, but at the moment, I am 5-4 in my college bets and 8-7 in my NFL bets. Not good. Not good at all. I mean, I've had a couple not bad beats, but again, Georgia Southern at Sam Houston. I took Georgia Southern just for shits and giggles, but I was all over UNLV. The one, we'll talk about the playoff here, but Clemson not covering against Texas when they had the chance to at the end. That sucked. Hang on. That Zin is kicking my ass right now. Excuse me. But not terrible. Again, Northern Illinois at Fresno State's going on right now. Northern Illinois is making a run. I have them +3. And then on tomorrow, I have South Florida over San Jose State. I have South Florida +3. We're going to recap the NFL real quick, and then we'll talk some college football. Actually, you know what? No, change that. Let's talk about college football real quick, and then we'll recap and then do NFL. I like that better. Okay. The favorites won in the college football. Everyone's mad about how, we all wanted the underdogs to win. I wanted the underdogs to cover and win. I really did. I would have loved if frickin', Tennessee covers at least Ohio State, but they get smacked going into Ohio State. I mean, they get absolutely smacked. They didn't have any lick of offense. Zero offense. That first couple drives was like, okay, you can kind of see them hang in there. But Ohio State just took off. They're like, you're not on the same level as us. That's where that $12 million roster that Ohio State has, that's why they're that good. I mean, Tennessee's a good football team, in my opinion. They kind of fell off towards the end, especially against big teams. But it's just they weren't ready to play. I mean, you can come out with your shirts off in pregame and you line them in, and I don't know who came out with their shirts off, but they showed that the cold doesn't bother them. Well, brother, it bothered you because you guys scored 10 points. So that sucks. I kind of knew Notre Dame was going to smack Indiana again. We saw it with Indiana against Ohio State, a few weeks ago. They're just not there yet. Maybe in a year or two they could build that roster for sure. I mean, you can make it to the playoffs. That's awesome. But Notre Dame looks scary. As a Georgia fan, I'm a little nervous. Playing Notre Dame, especially with the backup quarterback. Got time, though. The other game that I was looking at, what was the other one? Clemson at Texas. Clemson started out, they scored first or off the bat, and then Texas just like, no, you're not on our level. Kind of the same thing with Ohio State. Excuse me. I liked them to cover. I really did. I thought they were going to cover the 12. They ended up losing by 14, so that kind of sucked. Texas is good. Clemson, they were dead for the longest time. I mean, the first half they looked like, okay, we're just going to roll over and kind of take this beating and come out in the second half and try to make some noise, which they did, but, Texas's defense is legit. I will say that. Texas' defense is legit. And there are those rumors around Quinn Ewers right now. Is he going to transfer? Because, you got Arch Manning in the waiting, who every time he gets the ball or touches the ball, it seems like it's going to something crazy going to happen. But yeah, again, right now I'm 5-4 in my college bets. Not looking too hot. Let's do some college football real quick. I kind of veered off from the beginning, but we all wanted the underdog to win. At least I did. I wanted the underdogs to at least cover. That would have helped me a lot. Or not helped me, but I just wanted to see more fight. I mean, the big complaints I'm seeing right now online and just listening to other people is, Alabama's talking all kind of stuff, and then, Tennessee goes and plays. It's SEC bias. I have SEC bias. I'm a Georgia fan. I get it. But when you go into Ohio State and you you just lay an egg essentially. You really do. It's just not perfect. It's just not, I don't even know the word. It's embarrassing. It really is. And then the Bama fans come down like, "Oh, we should have been in." And then, they're just quiet now. Notre Dame seeding, just going in the future, it's the first year of the 12-team playoff. It's exciting. I love it. I think it's totally fine. I don't think we should ever go back. I think 12 is about right. If I were to make it, maybe go 16 and just kind of see what happens. 12 seems just about right, though, because if you go to 16, then you're really stretching it. But the big thing for me going forward is the best 4 teams need to be the top 4 seeds. I don't think they got it right. I really don't. Boise State getting a bye is crazy to me. Arizona State getting a bye is crazy to me. I get it. They won their division or conferences, and they deserve to be in the playoffs. But first round bye, I mean, we're gonna see Texas smack Arizona State probably, and then we're gonna see Ohio State go into or whatever the fuck the matchup is. It's just not. Penn State's gonna roll through Boise. That's just what's gonna happen. I don't know. That's my big thing. I think the best 4 teams should be the 4 best spots and have the first round bye. Where we don't see that right now. And Notre Dame is always going to get somewhat of some bias from the committee. Always going to be, because they don't belong to a conference. They're going to be on their own, and they're just going to kind of squeak through every time. They're not. Maybe they'll end up. The only way I see Notre Dame ever getting like the first round bye is if they switch to the best 4 teams and they just destroy everyone in their path. I don't think that's ever going to happen. Humbly, I don't think so, because they don't play tough schedules. They play a couple of games here and there throughout their season. But it's just, I think that's a future problem. I don't think Notre Dame should ever be ranked more than the 5th seed or higher than the 5th seed because they don't belong to a conference. And again, I think there's exceptions, like I was just saying. They have to literally steamroll through everyone throughout this season to get like a first round bye. That's my thing. And I think it should just be the 12 best teams. You could argue like, hey, like Boise State, Arizona State, they won their conferences. Yeah, I'd rather see Bama go to Ohio State or Texas play South Carolina or something like that. But that's SEC bias. I don't know. I just think there are some tweaks that need to be made. I think they're close. I don't think we've seen the final product yet of the 12-team playoff. I think they're going to adjust it over the next year or two. Hopefully it goes into effect, next year, where they're talking like, oh, we're going to tweak the 12-team playoff. Just tweak it. Don't need to make any drastic changes. But, I think 12 is a good number. I love 8. I think 8's perfect. I think 8's the perfect amount of teams. But I'm happy with 12 because it's more football to watch and more stuff to, talk about. I got, how many games do I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I got 10 games here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. I got 10 college football games. I am recording this on Monday because I got, Christmas plans happening this week. I'm traveling, all that kind of stuff. But I got 10 games here. This is going to go into next Tuesday, Monday, Tuesday, one of the two. I think it's Tuesday. And then Wednesday we'll come out with a new episode, all that kind of stuff. But right now I got 10 games. Let's just jump into it, and then we'll recap, NFL from Week 16, then give picks for NFL Week 17. Pitt versus Toledo. Pitt is -6.5. I don't know shit about Toledo. I know Pitt's kind of had an okay year. I love those Pitt uniforms. I don't know if they're throwback uniforms, but when they got those, their colors are just unique. I think that's really what it is. I don't know if Toledo's going to be alive in this game. I think Pitt is going to play for something. 6.5. Give me Pitt. Just give me Pitt. Fuck it. We'll ride with Pitt. I think that's okay. I think this next game, Rutgers versus K-State. K-State 6.5 as well. I love K-State. I've watched, their last 6 games at least. They're legit. I think they're really good. Smaller, not smaller school, but size-wise, they're smaller. Rutgers has had a lot of fight this year. I haven't watched enough Rutgers games to really tell you. I know they've kind of been in a couple games throughout the year, but give me K-State minus 6.5. I didn't know these two teams were playing. Oklahoma versus Navy. Oklahoma minus 3. I know one of the quarterbacks just transferred, but is Navy alive in this game? Are you telling me Navy's going to keep this game close with Oklahoma? I mean, Oklahoma has to win this. They should be relegated if they lose this game to Navy. If they don't win by 10, relegate. Drop them down to FBS, whatever the fuck it is. Give me Oklahoma minus 3. I don't see a world where they lose. That defense, that head coach from Clemson, he's a defensive guy. He's going to have a game plan ready for Navy. Next game, Georgia Tech versus Vandy. Georgia Tech minus 3. This game is going to be exciting because what's his name for Vandy, the quarterback, not Pinheiro, whatever that quarterback's name is, who balled out this year. Navy had a good year, or Vandy had a good year, excuse me. Georgia Tech, they started out really good. They beat Florida State. They went to 8 overtimes with Georgia. Go Dogs. I really don't know. I don't have a feel on this game. Both these teams are going to be good. I think this is a toss-up, if I'm being honest. I kind of just want to take Georgia Tech in the points to kind of cover my ass on this because I think it is going to be a tight game. But I like Vandy. And their quarterback's back. Fuck it, give me Vandy. I'll take Vandy. Get Vandy plus 3. I like that. I'm okay with that. Georgia Tech has had a good year. They've had a good year. But Vandy, I like Vandy. They're doing something there. Next game, Texas Tech versus Arkansas. Arkansas is minus 1.5. I was really high on Arkansas throughout this year. I thought they were going to have a better year than they actually did. They've kind of let me down, especially in big games too. We go back throughout through the season, and it's like, oh, I like Arkansas in this spot, lay a dud. Oh, I like Arkansas in this spot, lay a dud. I think I'm going to take Texas Tech just based off vibes. I think Arkansas is going to run it all over them, but I think Texas Tech is going to be able to handle it and score some points. Texas Tech was toe-to-toe with CU for a little bit. And is CU good? That's the real question. I think they're good. We got their game coming up here soon. USC versus A&M. A&M minus 3.5. I think I go A&M. I don't trust USC to do anything. I know one of their quarterbacks just transferred. I just don't see a USC coming out alive in this game, and they've kind of been a disappointment since Lincoln Riley's been there. I wouldn't be shocked if Lincoln Riley leaves in the next year or two. Go to an actual good school. Maybe go down to the SEC, see what you can do down there, or go to the Big Ten. But yeah, this game these games, these 10 games, most of these are very exciting games. We got Iowa State versus Miami. Miami is minus 3.5. Iowa State Cyclone up. I don't know why I just said that, but Iowa State they've been interesting to watch this year. Miami, is Cam Ward playing? If Cam Ward's playing, I'm going to take Miami, just because they're going to score at least 60. But Iowa State's defense, I know, is pretty good. What are we thinking? If Cam Ward's playing, I should have maybe done some research, but let's just take a quick peek. Is Cam Ward playing? I like Iowa State playing in the bowl game. When I went through playoffs, he would play in the game. Really? Okay, so give me Miami. Give me Miami minus 3.5. I think it's going to be a tight game, but I think Cam Ward's going to pull some shit out of his ass and make some magic happen towards the end of the game. Give me Miami minus 3. BYU versus CU. CU -4. I know all the starters are playing for CU. I support players playing, but I also think, I got to get it. It's probably your last college game. But, Shador and Travis are both getting drafted in the first round. If they play the entire game, maybe. I don't know what BYU's kind of got going on over there. They were on a pretty good season. They were kind of on a magic run for a while. I think out of solidarity of, Travis winning the Heisman, Shador going to the NFL. Both of them were going to the NFL, but I'll take CU -4. I think it's be a bloodbath. I really do. I think CU drops no less than 42. BYU is going to try to have to keep up in scoring with them. I think their defense is going to be okay, but CU's defense isn't going to do anything. CU's defense realistically has to get 2 or 3 stops, and then that's it. Then you're good. This game I'm really excited for. Again, this is about a week out. Like, subscribe, do what you got to do, comment. Shout out to the guy that said he said when the audio didn't load up on this video, someone commented, I forgot his name. Shout out to him. He said, hate to tell you this, brother, but there's no audio in this entire video. I commented back and said, just finding this out, kill myself. So shout out that guy. I literally found out about the same time he commented that. So that was awesome. Bama versus Michigan. Bama's -13. Is Bama going to come out and say, hey, we're way better than all these teams. We're going to shit pump Michigan and cover? I don't know. I think Michigan might be alive in this game. I really do. I'm taking a shot in the dark on this one. Give me Michigan +13. I think they're gonna do what they've been doing all year when they win games, muck it up. It's gonna be a low-scoring game. You know what? Actually, never mind. Give me Bama. Give me Bama -13. I don't know why. I would do that. There's no way Michigan can score more than 13 points. Bama's gonna score at least 25 to 30. Michigan's going to be on the rise here soon. They got so much NIL money coming down the fucking chute that Michigan's going to be contending again in the next year or two. So be ready for that. Be ready for those Michigan guys coming down your throat. Pause. Penn State versus Boise, playoff game. Penn State -10.5. Look, it's not a big game for James Franklin yet. He's kind of just looking at these teams like these teams are inferior to us. We are one of the best teams in the country, which they are. They can't beat Ohio State, which hopefully they do. They have a collision course on their hands. But look, Ashton Gentry, great story this year. Way to battle for the Heisman. Put up stupid video game numbers. I just don't see how Boise's gonna. I don't know how they're gonna keep in with this. It's kind of gonna be like the Notre Dame, Indiana game the other night. I just don't know how you can tell me with a straight face that Boise is gonna score more than 17 points and keep Penn State from under 27. I don't see it. I think Boise again. I love Boise as an organization, or not an organization. I love Boise State as a school. It's an amazing school. I just don't see how. I don't see how they cover. I don't see how they cover. I really don't. If they do, it's going to be by the tail end of it. It's going to be 10.5. Penn State's going to win by 10. That's how that shit's going to go. But I don't see how Boise keeps it close. I really don't. I really, really don't. And no disrespect to Boise or Boise fans, but I just don't see it. I really, really don't see it. So that's my card for college football for the next week. Again, I got some lines a little bit early. These lines might move. They are subject to change. Sounded like a commercial. All right. Let's recap some NFL. It was kind of a crazy week. It was kind of some games were blowouts, and then it turned into a fucking shootout at the end of the game. Week 16, we had Thursday Night Football. We had a couple Saturday games, and then Sunday, and then again, the Monday night game happens tonight. Green Bay is minus 13.5 at home against the Saints. I have Green Bay minus 13.5. I think they're on a fucking steamroll right now. But recapping Week 16, Thursday night, Broncos-Chargers. Broncos looked good that first half. They really did. They looked real good that first half. Jump out to a lead like that, you're like, okay, kind of just hang your own. Our defense is just not playing well. Riley Moss, apparently, our white cornerback, is a crucial member to our defense because we can't do anything else. Chargers ended up pulling it out. I mean, they got a touchdown. I think it was like the middle of the third quarter where I think they took the lead, and then that crowd came alive. You could actually hear the crowd in LA, which is rare to hear those crowds because there's no fans in LA. But yeah, then the Chargers, the crowd came alive. That defense stepped up huge. Khalil Mack, love Khalil Mack, but he becomes a game wrecker when he needs to. Bosa had some big plays. I mean, Derwin James had a couple big plays. I just chalk it up to the Broncos having a bad second half. Good win by the Chargers. Saturday games, Texans at Kansas City. Tank Dell is the big thing. He caught the touchdown, but blew out his knee, dislocated his kneecap. If you didn't see the video, beware. It's not a fun video to watch, to say the least. It is you see him catch it, and then you see him grimace in pain like right away. So shout out to that. But KC ends up winning. They keep getting away with it. The last couple weeks, I will say this: Kansas City's been playing better ball. They've been playing better ball. We can see it right now. They are playing better ball. Where first 10 weeks, it was like, okay, they keep getting away with shit, right? Now it's like they're starting to click. They're real. You know why? Because the playoffs are around the corner. They need to start to click. So yeah, Kansas City probably gonna win the Super Bowl again. That kind of sucks. Again, I said it last week. I enjoy a Kansas City loss more than I do enjoy a Broncos win. At this current moment, as a Broncos fan, rebuilding essentially, I enjoy that a lot more. I've only had one of them this year, and there's probably a good reason for that because they're so fucking good. Steelers at Ravens, usually a gross game. Usually these teams are going back and forth on each other. There's usually like a safety involved or like a pick six and then a strip fumble going the other way. Just back and forth, just ugly scores. What do I have? Oh, I have can't time out. I've been betting on the Steelers the last 3 weeks. Can't time out a Steelers bet. I have been off since the beginning, and I'm still off. I can't figure them out. I cannot figure them out. But the Ravens looked like they got back on track. This is a big win for them. Division rival. So good for the Ravens. I wish I would have took a -6 because they handled business with the Steelers. They absolutely handled business. Giants at Falcons. Good for Penix. Giants are a sad team to watch. Lions at Bears. Detroit made it look easy. That's all really I got. I've trashed the Bears enough to be like, I don't need to do that anymore. Don't need to waste any time. I'm excited to see. The only thing I'm excited about for Chicago, hang on 1 second. Only thing I'm excited about Chicago is see who they hire as their next head coach. That's my big thing. I want to see who they get. I think Mike Vrabel is a good fit for them. I don't know who else is really in the running. I know Ben Johnson from the Lions. Maybe this was an interview for the Bears to kind of scout him. Lions made it look easy. And that trick play that they had where Jahmyr Gibbs looks like he's diving on a fumble and Jared Goff puts his head back, looks like he's stumbling, and then just throws a dime to the tight end and scores a touchdown. That was pretty cool. That's unique. That's a unique thing right there. Browns at Bengals. What do we got? Jameis. Why is DTR playing? Why is he playing? I tweeted out during the game, hey, Browns, put Jameis in. You want to score 7 points? Look, Jameis isn't going to be your future quarterback, but if you want to have some exciting games and put some asses in some seats maybe even on the road, bro, put Jameis in. He actually throws the ball. DTR gets the ball, takes one step back, looks at his first read. If it's not there, he's going to scramble. That's just what he does. Brutal. Just absolutely brutal. Joe Burrow is an absolute dog. I think the last 7 or 8 games he has 3 touchdowns throwing and like 250 yards. He's on a completely other level. Bengals can still sneak into the playoffs. Some shit has to happen for them to sneak into the playoffs, but it's still possible. I don't know if I'd want to face the Bengals in the playoffs at all, just because Joe Burrow and how electric he is. That defense sucks, but Joe Burrow's going to put his team on the back. I can guarantee you that. Titans at Colts. This game was a blowout. I only had it on Red Zone. It was a blowout, and it was like 28-7 or something like that. The next time I saw that game, it was like 30-38, and I'm like, the Titans made an absolute run. Anthony Richardson had 2 rushing touchdowns. Jonathan Taylor had 2 rushing touchdowns. I mean, good for the Colts for doing that kind of shit, but shout out to the Titans for making a fucking comeback. Oh my goodness. It was an absolute comeback. Crazy. Rams at Jets. Boring ass game. I don't know what to say. Tyler Higbee scored the only touchdown of the game. I had Cooper Kupp to score a touchdown. Didn't hit. That's awesome. Jets are also a very sad team to watch. Rams, dangerous. Rams are dangerous. I would not want to play them right now or even in the playoffs. Eagles at Commanders, electric game. Jalen Hurts goes down. Gets a concussion. He tries to come back. They're like, no, you can't. So Kenny Pickett comes in. Has an okay game. Doesn't get the job done. Saquon had 100+. He had 3 touchdowns in the first quarter. And then just has like 30 yards rushing the rest of the game. I mean, how does that happen? You have to feed the man. Feed Saquon. I think if you feed Saquon and try to, I get it. You have to play Jalen Hurts and Saquon as the same person, especially on those read option plays. They were like, Kenny Pickett's not going to run on us. So I get that as the defensive standpoint for the Commanders, but Jaden Daniels went off. He had 5 touchdowns. They had 5 turnovers. They look good. The Commanders look good. Jaden Daniels is a good quarterback. Cardinals at Panthers. My Bryce Young stock is rising every day he plays football. I remember at the beginning of the year when they benched him for Andy Dalton, and I'm like, I'm still holding on to it. It means absolutely $0 right now. It's worth 0, but man, I'm glad I held it because now it's like, okay, there's some potential in Bryce Young. There's a lot of potential in Bryce Young. It's not like over the top potential, but there's a lot of potential there. I don't think we know his ceiling yet. I think it's getting close. He can maybe win you a playoff game, but a deep run, maybe a Super Bowl, maybe on a miracle season, yes. Anytime soon, no. But yeah, and the Cardinals are just they're tough to watch now. I was thinking this because I have Kyler on my fantasy team. I was thinking about this. I'm like, Kyler just isn't good. And I was watching the game too. I'm like, he's not doing anything. He's literally he pats the ball, and if he can't see anyone, he's out of there. And a defensive end is fast enough to get to him. I don't get it. I don't know. I don't think Kyler is. I don't know what words I'm looking for. I really don't know what words I'm looking for Kyler. It's exciting to watch him play for the first 7 weeks of the season, and then after that, it just turns to mush. It just turns to absolute much. I'm not a fan. So yeah, hopefully he goes off next week because I need him in fantasy because I'm in the championship. No biggie. No big deal. Fantasy, who cares, right? Vikings at Seahawks. Vikings, I will put my stamp of approval as legit. I don't know what to do about the Seahawks. They're just a nuisance at this point. I've never been a Seahawks fan. I was shocked Geno Smith was playing this game. Excuse me. Oh, holy shit. Vikings legit. I don't know another way around it. I really don't. I was kind of down on the Vikings and the Steelers are synonymous in my head where they're like, at this point in the season, they're both good teams. I think the Vikings are just a little ahead of the Steelers right now, But the Steelers are just like, they're not going to win you a Super Bowl. I'm starting to get to the point where like the Vikings, I hate to say this, but they might win the Super Bowl. They might win the Super Bowl. I'm not going to say they are, but they might. Because that Kevin O'Connell's legit. Sam Darnold is the big question mark. He's had a couple games where it's like, okay, this is old Sam Darnold. Glad I held on to this take. But then he comes back the next drive and he goes and throws a touchdown. So it's like, is this old Sam Darnold? I don't think so. I really don't think so. So stamp of approval for being legit, but potential Super Bowl. Potential. I'm not saying yes. I don't think so yet. Let me see them win a playoff game, and then we'll talk. Let me see win a playoff game, and then we'll talk. Pats at Bills. I should have known that the Bills were going to cover against a division rival, especially the Patriots. Yeah, I mean, Josh had a pretty good game. I like Drake May. I think he's going to be good. I just get some weapons around him, get an offensive line around him. Patriots might be sneaky good in the next year or two. I really believe that. Jags at Raiders, no idea. Good for the Raiders for the win. 49ers at Dolphins. 49ers are officially mathematically out of the playoffs. Bucks at Cowboys. Bad game for the Bucks. They kind of just got manhandled by the Cowboys last night. Cowboys are kind of scary. I wouldn't want to play them right now, if I'm being honest. Yeah, and then again, Saints Green Bay tonight. Green Bay minus 13.5. That was week 16. Again, I went 8-7 with one game pending, so I'm either going to be 500 or just above 500. Not bad, not good, but not bad. Week 17, we got a couple Christmas games. We got a Thursday game. We got Saturday games, and we got a quiet Sunday slate of NFL, and we got a Monday night game. There's some good games mixed throughout here. The Christmas games are good. The Thursday game is going to be so-so. Saturday game should be somewhat exciting. And then we got a couple good Sunday games for sure. So, yeah. New Jersey fines DraftKings 2 others for violations, including taking bets on unauthorized. Ooh, that sucks. Okay. Week 17. Christmas. Kansas City at Pittsburgh. Kansas City minus 3. I know there's some stat out there about Mike Tomlin being a road underdog. Or not even a road underdog. A home underdog. Excuse me. He just knows how to win games like this. I think this is a big game. Look. I want the Steelers to win, and I'm going to take them plus 3. I might take them money line. Again, like I said earlier, recapping, Kansas City's starting to go into form. You can kind of just feel it, and you can kind of just see it that, they're done messing around to the last, 4 weeks of the regular season, and then it's playoff mode. So, yeah, I think if there's a time for Kansas City to lose, I'd have to look at their schedule. Actually, let's just look at it right now. If there's a time for them to lose, it's right now. It'd be amazing if they lost, just because I kind of want the Bills to get the 1 seed, because I think the Bills are better than them. Okay, let's see. They're going to the Steelers on Christmas. They got the Broncos, and that's it. I forgot we only have 2 weeks left. Unfortunately, they're to come into the Broncos and probably win, depending on how this game goes. Because they don't have the 1 seed locked up just yet. But if they win this one, I don't know if they win this one. And I know Buffalo has to win out. But if they both win out, I think it goes the case. Does it? I don't know. I really don't know. Regardless, I think Casey's due for a fucking loss. And it's now. It's Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh probably money line. Actually, you know what? Not money line. Give me the plus 3. They're going to make it ugly. Chris Boswell is going to make a big kick for them. And Pittsburgh's going to win the game. Ravens at Houston, also on Christmas. Baltimore minus 5.5. You kind of just feel like the air is out of Houston right now. They just lost Tank Dell. Nico Collins is back, but it's like Joe Mixon has a pretty good year. Not anything special. That offensive line is just banged up. Just not the Texans' year. Sophomore slump for CJ Stroud for sure. I think he's still pretty good, or I still think he's really good, but just not Houston's year. It's a bump in the road, but you get past it. You go into the offseason, reset, all that kind of stuff, recalibrate, and then you make a run next year. So I kind of feel like at this point in the season for Houston, it's kind of like we're going to go out there and fight, but it's not going to be anything special because I think they already have the playoff spot locked up. I'm not 100% sure on that, but let's just go to the standings real quick. Yeah, they're going to win the division unless they lose out and then Indianapolis wins out, but I don't see them losing out. But yeah, I like the Ravens here anyway. Ravens are good. They could potentially make it to the Super Bowl. I think if they make it, they would win it. Unless they're playing the Lions. I think that's about it. And even then, the Lions are banged up too. Thursday, Seattle at Chicago. Probably not going to watch this one because this sounds like a terrible game. Seattle minus 3.5 at Chicago. The Bears show life every once in a while. They show life. They just rear their head up and like, oh, we're here. And then they come and get their head stomped on again. They've lost 9 in a row. Seattle coming off a loss to, excuse me, who did the Seattle Seahawks lose to? The Vikings. They lost to the Vikings. Every fiber of my being is telling me not to take Chicago here, or to take Chicago. I'm going to ignore it and go Seattle minus 3.5. I just think Chicago's that bad. I really do. I don't want them to be bad. I like Caleb Williams. I like Keenan Allen, who may be a little old, but nevertheless, I still think Seattle's kind of fighting for something. Are they fighting for a wild card spot? Something like that. Anyways, Saturday games. I don't really care about that game if I'm being honest. Saturday games. Chargers at Pats. Chargers are minus 4.5. Give me the Pats. Fuck it. I like the Pats. I don't. And here's the thing. Weather, kind of like the playoff game. Tennessee going to Ohio State. It's cold. One of those things. They come out there shirtless. Oh, cold doesn't bother us. Motherfucker, you guys scored 10 points. Obviously, it bothered you. Not saying Ohio State's defense isn't good, but, it bothered you to a degree. I kind of have the same feeling with this Chargers-Pats game. Chargers are going to try to run the ball. Patriots know how to play in the cold. At least I think they do. Give me the Pats plus 4.5. Broncos at Bengals. Bengals minus 3.5. Bengals need to win this. The Bengals absolutely need to win this game. Broncos kind of control their own future. If you lose this game, you're not completely out, but you have to get into it. You have to make it. Give me this guy real quick. Let's see. Obviously, Chiefs. Chargers are up, so we need this one to jump the Chargers, and the Chargers need to lose. Bengals are 7-8, looking on the outside, looking in. Chargers and Broncos are fighting, absolutely fighting for a playoff spot. Right now, it's the Chiefs, Buffalo, Steelers, Texans, Ravens, Chargers, Broncos at 7, Colts at 8. Oof. Yeah, the Colts need to lose. Dolphins need to lose just for the Bengals to get in. I hate to say it. I don't want to say it, but I don't know what to do with this game. If Riley Moss is playing, I'm taking the Broncos. Let's just say that. I'll take the Broncos plus the 3.5. Our Bengals defense is not good. I saw a stat that the times that Patrick Surtain and Jamar Chase have played, Jamar Chase has like one catch for like 15 yards. So Surtain's going to be all over him. We need Riley Moss to cover T. Higgins, which isn't easy because T. Higgins is a fucking freak of nature. He's like 6'5". Riley Moss is maybe 6 foot. But yeah, I'm excited for that game. That game seems like it's going to be a shootout just because every Bengals game is a shootout. But yeah, that's Saturday afternoon. Saturday night game is the Cardinals at Rams. Rams are minus 5.5. Again, I got these lines early. It's Monday when I'm recording this. Cardinals are going to keep it interesting, at least in the first quarter, but the Rams are scary right now. Give me the Rams minus 5.5. I think they win by at least 10, if I'm being honest, just because the Cardinals aren't doing anything. The Cardinals are not going to fight. The Cardinals are going to roll over and kind of just take it. Cardinals are 7-8. They're eliminated from the playoffs. It's just one of those things. Rams are 9-6. You want to keep the momentum going if you're the Rams. Get through these next couple games, get into the playoffs, call it a fucking season, and do some damage in the playoffs. That's just how I think. Sunday. We got Jets at Bills. Bills minus 10. I don't know what to do with this game. I was writing this game down, and I'm like, do I take the Jets just because it's going to be cold? They know how to play in cold games. Aaron Rodgers in the cold. Then I was like, Josh Allen knows how to play in the cold. Josh Allen playing at home is really good. I think the Jets are going to make it interesting, but I think Bills pull late fourth quarter, cover, 35-21 kind of thing. So give me the Bills minus the 10. Minus the 10. Colts at Giants. Colts are minus 8. I'm not going to watch a second of this game because that sounds just gross to watch the Giants. Excuse me. I guess the Colts minus 8. I don't feel comfortable about that pick just because the Giants at home, they're going to do a little magic kind of shit, or they're really just that bad and the Colts are going to run 200 yards on them again. Jonathan Taylor had 213 last week against the Titans. And the Titans have a top 5 defense. So give me the Colts minus 8. Cowboys at Eagles. Eagles minus 9.5. Division rival. I'm going to guess Jalen Hurts is going to be okay by the end of the week, or at least game time. He's going to be able to play. I did say the Cowboys are kind of dangerous. I mean, they just beat the Bucs, which is like, okay, but you're going into Philly. I don't see a world where, and also about that Philly game from this last weekend, C.J. Gardner-Johnson got ejected. Darius Slay got injured in the fourth quarter. So like there were a couple things that had to happen for the Commanders to win. I don't think that's going to happen this week. I think it's going to be an old-fashioned rivalry. But I just think the Eagles just beat the shit out of them at home. I really do. I really don't love that pick because 9.5 is a lot. Because Cowboys could come back, backdoor cover. You're right, backdoor cover. Give me the Cowboys plus the 9.5. Actually, I'll take Cowboys. I don't feel comfortable about either side. If I'm being honest, give me the Cowboys plus 9.5. I don't love it. I really don't love it because Cooper Rush could have a terrible game, or he could have a game of his life, and it's probably going to be towards the latter where he's not going to have a good game because the Eagles are legit. I think the Eagles could win a couple playoffs games and potentially make it to the Super Bowl. I really do. Panthers at Bucks. I've kind of timed out these Panthers bets correctly. Panthers coming off a big win. I mean, any win's a big win, right? It's the Cardinals, but nevertheless, a win's a win. But the Bucks just got manhandled in Dallas. I don't like the 8, but give me the Bucks minus 8 because last time these two teams played, it went into overtime. Bucks went and kicked the field goal, but I like the Bucks here. They just got manhandled by the Cowboys. Panthers kind of fighting. They come up for air and they come back right back down. They come up for air and then come right back down. Titans at Jags. I have zero read on this game. I have zero feel in this game. I almost just want to exit out and just not even pay attention to it. Jags minus 1 feels like the right play. Just because they're at home, I guess. Sure, I'll take the home team. I've taken a lot of favorites this round. That is not good. That is not good. Miami at Browns. Miami minus 6.5. If Jameis is playing, my bet changes. But until Jameis plays, give me minus 6.5 for the Miami Dolphins. Packers at Minnesota. Packers at Minnesota. Oh, I like this game a lot. This is one of the afternoon games, FYI. I think there's only 2 afternoon games, if I'm being honest. This is gonna be the one that I'm paying attention to the most because I do love. Let's see. That is week 16. Give me week 17. There's 2 games on in the afternoon. Miami and the Browns, okay, and then Green Bay and Minnesota. Like what? How? Give me the Dallas Philly game for an afternoon game too. I like the Packers here. I'm mainly because I need to see something out of Minnesota because I know the Packers are good. So give me Packers plus the 1.5, probably just outright, realistically. But yeah, this will be official stamp of approval. I don't know why I just hawk to it, but nevertheless, give me the Packers plus the 1.5 just because I need to see it. I need to physically see the Minnesota Vikings win this game. I know they're going to be at home, but I know it's going to be a good game. Falcons at Commanders. Penix going on the road for second career start. Commanders coming off a big win over Philly. Fuck it. Let's just ride with the Commanders -4. I like Penix, but second career start going into the Commanders, who are a pretty good football team right now. I don't see it happening. And then the last game, Monday night game, Lions going to San Francisco. Detroit -3.5. I feel like it's a low number because the 49ers are kind of dead and eliminated. So give me the Lions -3.5. I think it's going to be a tough game. That first quarter and a half, it's going to be a feel-out game for those two where, Jared Goff is going to be Jared Goff is going to be feeling the defense out. Defense is going to give them some pressure and some troubles for sure. But look, the worst thing that you can do right now is play a desperate, hungry team. Or is it desperate or nothing to work for? Just go out there and play ball. They don't have anything. If they're mathematically eliminated, then they have no cares in the world about anything. That's what this 49ers team is, and they're probably the most dangerous right now at that kind of thing. Makes me a little nervous, but my Lions bet. But Lions haven't, led me wrong all year. They are banged up defensively. They're banged up. David Montgomery. I hate to say it. I don't want to say it. But, I would have loved to see them win the Super Bowl. It's just not the year. I think I said it last week. They're banged up. I mean, they took care of the Chicago Bears. Who fucking cares? This might be a little bit of a test just because the 49ers are who they are. Which they aren't good right now. But again, a desperate team. Have nothing to care for. It's going to be a good game. That'll be a good Monday night game next week. That is it, though. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, all the good stuff. Beyond the Spread. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Comment. Let me know if someone comment if this audio actually works in the videos. I'll know here and shortly, like the next few minutes. But if you're listening to this, just give me like a like or a comment saying it works, dumbass, or something like that. I don't know. Like, comment, subscribe. Beyond the Spread. That's what it is.